Oh my God, the fashion world just got hit with a scandal so massive it's making all other industry drama look like child's play.
The Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Everything ain't for everybody.
The former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch and two others have been arrested as part of a criminal investigation by the FBI.
Y'all, I'm literally shaking right now. Mike Jeff and Matthew Smith, the bigwigs behind Abercrombie and Fitch's empire, just got slapped with federal charges that are giving us major Diddy deja vu. And here's the tea that has everyone's tongues wagging. Word on the street is that Diddy might have dropped a whole list of powerful names to the feds to save his own skin. Now, most people rolled their eyes when these rumors first started floating around. But honey, after these arrests, it's looking realer than my grandma's Sunday dinner. Nobody saw it coming that Mike Jeff, former Abercrombie CEO and fashion industry heavyweight, would be the first domino to fall in this mess. Jeff, his partner Matthew Smith, and this mysterious character James Jacobson, giving very much shady middleman energy, just got hit with federal charges that'll make your jaw drop. They're accused of running an underground operation that's so twisted it makes those Hollywood horror stories look tame. The FBI is saying these men were playing puppet master with young male models' dreams. They were dangling those modeling contracts like carrots, only to drag these innocent souls into something straight out of a nightmare. Jeff was allegedly throwing these twisted gatherings at his New York mansion that make Diddy's freak-off parties look like a kindergarten playdate.
He was using his power, his wealth, and his influence to traffic men for his own sexual pleasure and that of his romantic partner, Matthew Smith.
Listen up, because this is where it gets extra spicy. According to the investigators' tea, Jeff and Smith hired Jacobson to be their talent scout. But baby, he was doing way more than checking portfolios. This man was out here holding private auditions with young models worldwide, testing how far they'd go for that coin. Once Jeff and Smith gave their royal seal of approval, these boys were getting first-class tickets to New York or luxury hotels for some very questionable commercial activities, if you know what I mean.
Jeffries and Smith employed James Jacobson to act as a recruiter to find men. Jacobson engaged in, quote, tryouts with men across the world where he would typically pay them to engage in sex acts with him. Following the tryouts with Jacobson, Smith would often then personally approve whether the men who were selected would meet Jeffries and Smith. The defendants would fly the selected men to Jeffries and Smith's homes in the Hamptons of New York City or to hotels around the world in such places as England, France, Italy, Morocco, and St. Bart's for the purpose of attending events to engage in commercial sex.
Chile, grab your smelling salts because what I'm about to tell you will have you gasping. These young men walked in thinking they were about to become the next face of Abercrombie, living their model dreams. But when they arrived, honey, it was a whole different story. These poor souls were forced to sign NDAs tighter than my skinny jeans after Thanksgiving dinner, and those papers became their prison. They couldn't breathe a word about what happened even years later. The way these powerful men were playing chess with people's lives, it's giving evil mastermind, but make it couture.
In an interview process that did not inform the men of the details of the sex events before they attended, including the full extent and nature of the sexual activity that would be required of the men at these events. They caused the men to believe that attending these sex events could yield modeling opportunities with Abercrombie or otherwise benefit their careers.
And just when you thought this tea couldn't get any hotter, hold on to your wigs. The connections between Diddy's shenanigans and these fashion industry crimes are more obvious than a bad toupee. They were allegedly forcing these models to drink spiked cocktails, take and muscle relaxants. Sound familiar? Because it should. The court papers are saying Diddy pulled the exact same moves with young artists trying to make it in music. And baby, the internet sleuths are working harder than my metabolism after 30, theorizing that Diddy might have been the mastermind behind some of Jeff and Smith's parties. The prosecution came prepared. They've got 15 male victims ready to tell their truth. And get this, Jeff supposedly poured millions into keeping this operation quieter than a library after hours. Investigators are saying there might be more victims out out there than items in my Amazon cart. Let's talk bail, because this is where it gets interesting. While Diddy's cooling his heels behind bars with no bail, Jeff managed to buy his freedom with a $10 million bond. The similarities between their cases are giving identical twins energy, both facing civil and criminal charges. Only difference? Diddy allegedly targeted young artists, while Jeff was supposedly all about those aspiring models. If the BBC hadn't put on their detective hats, this whole mess might have stayed buried deeper than my trust issues. They uncovered these bone-chilling stories, including one from David Bradbury, a former model whose testimony is spicier than my aunt's secret hot sauce recipe. This brave soul spilled how the middleman made it crystal clear. A meeting with the CEO would cost him his dignity. It was like he was selling fame, Bradbury said, and honey, the price tag was his soul. Bradbury's courage opened the floodgates, and more victims started coming forward with stories that'll have you sleeping with the lights on. Some are saying Jeff's staff was out here playing doctor, injecting people with Like, what in the name of medical malpractice is going on? Y'all thought Diddy's closet had skeletons? Baby, we're just opening the door to this fashion industry house of horrors. It's giving very much tip of the iceberg realness. When you look at all these charges, Diddy, Mike Jeff, Jeffrey Epstein, it's clear that this industry has more dark secrets than a confession booth. All those conspiracy theories about underground rings in Hollywood that people dismissed faster than a bad date? Well, now that victims are speaking their truth, it's harder to deny than my online shopping addiction. Something sinister has been lurking in these industry shadows longer than I've been trying to perfect my winged eyeliner. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, sweeties. Do y'all think Diddy really turned snitch to save his designer-clad behind? Because this story is giving more twists and turns than a telenovela, and that's the piping hot tea for today, my loves. Keep those eyes peeled and those ears to the ground, because something tells me this fashion industry house of cards is about to come tumbling down faster than my New Year's resolutions. Until next time, stay fabulous and stay woke.